Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking some seriously powerful source material that takes a hard, totally unflinching look at why so many ambitious people fall short of their goals. We're breaking down the architect of failure, 7 habits killing your potential. Okay, let's dive into this because what we're going to cover today isn't about tossing more tasks onto your to-do list. It's about spotting those invisible forces that are actively dragging you down.
Be honest with yourself for a second. Are you working incredibly hard but still feel like you're getting absolutely nowhere? It is literally the most frustrating feeling. You put in the crazy hours, you're drained by dinner time, but looking back month over month, the needle just hasn't budged. If you're nodding along right now, listen, you're definitely not alone. And the craziest part? It probably isn't a lack of effort that's keeping you stuck.
And that brings us to this harsh reality from our source text. Your daily habits might be quietly destroying your future without you even noticing. Seriously, pay attention to the word quietly. We aren't talking about massive, dramatic blow-ups here. It's the small, seemingly harmless daily routines that just kind of compound over time into a giant roadblock. These aren't just bad habits like biting your nails. They are active, systemic threats to your entire potential.
Section 1. Time and Energy Thieves. We're looking at how losing control of your morning and your night means losing control of your life.
Our source calls out the first 2 major habits destroying your potential right out of the gate: doom scrolling and chaotic sleep schedules. These are the twin thieves, basically tag teaming to rob you of your most valuable resources, your time and your mental energy, long before you even sit down to do any real work. Let's tackle that first thief, doom scrolling. It's a straight-up battle between controlling your time and literally just scrolling it away. Think about it. If your morning starts by rolling over, grabbing your phone, and giving up your very first waking moments to the infinite scroll of TikTok or Instagram, well, you've essentially already lost the day. You're letting an algorithm hijack your dopamine before you've even had your coffee. Winners fiercely protect their mornings. They dictate their inputs. They don't let a feed dictate them. Which leads right into the second habit, perfectly nailed by this quote. A random sleep schedule leads to a random life. I mean, there is so much truth in that. You cannot expect to consistently crush complex, high-level goals if you're staying up until 4 a.m. watching absolute nonsense on YouTube. It makes clarity completely impossible. Fixing your sleep isn't just about feeling awake. It's the absolute prerequisite to fixing your mindset and taking back control of your brain.
Section 2. The Illusion of Action. Imagining success versus actually being useful. Now, what's really interesting about this is the massive, dangerous gap between planning and executing.
Based on the text, we've grouped habits 3 and 5 here: analysis paralysis and stagnant skill sets. These are those sneaky internal loops that make you feel like you're grinding and making progress while simultaneously ensuring you produce 0 real-world results. It's wild. Let's break down how this illusion actually works.
First up is analysis paralysis. Just look at the contrast. Thinking like a CEO versus acting like a CEO. Are you spending all your time planning the perfect business or waiting for the literal perfect moment to launch? Our source is absolutely ruthless about this. Execution beats perfection every single time. A messy, imperfect project out in the real world is infinitely more valuable than a flawless one trapped in your head. You've got to stop overthinking and just start doing. And that ties right into the difference between busy people and useful people, which brings us to stagnant skill sets. Look, the world changes unbelievably fast. It does not reward you just because your calendar's packed or you fired off 100 emails. It rewards people who are useful, people who continually master new, high-leverage skills. If you aren't actively upgrading your abilities, you aren't just standing still, you are actively falling behind. Moving to Section 3, Destructive Outside Forces. Let's look at the external drains on your potential. Up to this point, we focused on internal stuff: screen time, sleep, overthinking. But we have to look outward too. The text outlines 2 major external forces that act as habits: toxic environments and mindless spending. Honestly, you can have the most elite morning routine in the world, but if these 2 external forces are out of whack, they will systematically break you down. I want to read this quote verbatim because it is a harsh, necessary truth. If your inner circle is lazy, negative, or makes jokes about success, you are next in line to fail. Wow. Your environment isn't just a neutral space, it's a powerful, active force. If you're constantly hanging around cynicism or people who mock ambition, failure is pretty much a guarantee. You literally cannot outwork a toxic inner circle. The other massive external force? Your financial environment. Fast money habits versus long-term struggle. The source makes it crystal clear. If you're pulling in good money today, but somehow always find yourself broke tomorrow, you don't just have an income problem, you have a severe habit problem. Mindless spending, buying stuff just for that temporary dopamine hit, guarantees a future of stress. That thoughtless spending has to stop if you want to build any real foundation.
Okay, I'm dropping the enthusiastic tone for a second. Section 4, the discipline ultimatum. It is time to dismantle the myth of motivation.
So, the crucial point is this. Motivation is fake, and it's fleeting. It is basically the habit of waiting until you feel like it to do the work. If you rely on motivation, you're relying on an emotion, and emotions change with the weather or how much sleep you got. It's a total trap. Discipline, doing the thing regardless of how you feel, is the only mechanism that actually forces your life to change.
The core message of the entire text really boils down to one single sentence. Work when you don't want to, that is how you win. It sounds incredibly simple, right? But it is the ultimate separator between the people who actually achieve their goals and the people who just talk endlessly about them. Pushing through the friction on a rainy Tuesday when you're completely exhausted, that is the foundational habit of success. And that brings us to the final ultimatum presented by our source. No one is coming to save you or fix your life. You either change your habits now, or your habits will eventually destroy your future. Man, that is heavy, but ultimately, it is deeply empowering. Avoiding these 7 destructive habits, from doom scrolling to relying on fleeting motivation, is 100% your responsibility. The blueprint is right here.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a question to chew on. Which of these 7 habits hit you the hardest? Like, which one made you slightly uncomfortable because it felt a little too familiar? I challenge you to really reflect on your own behavior today. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments, share which habit you're going to tackle first, and if you want more of these real talk breakdowns, make sure to subscribe. We'll catch you in the next one.